All right. So, this track right there, I think that is either bobcat or lion. But if that's a lion track, it's a youngster. Which, if it's a youngster, that would explain it being so close to the house. Anyway, I'm going to figure out, go in, turn around, get the dogs off, and see what the dogs come up with. Got some nice deer tracks coming through though. Jumping this fence. What I need is a rake. And then go through, scratch this all up, level it off, and see what's happening here. Then I could use one of these fence posts, well, gate posts, and put up a game camera. But without any snow, cats are just light. They got a real big track, so they don't sink in. I mean, you think about, you look at how deep those deer tracks are as to how light those cat tracks are. It's more of a weight dispersal. And so that's kind of how come I've laid off this cat, because they just don't leave the tracks. Now they leave scent, but my dogs are not lion dogs. So they tangle with the cat, they're going to get tortoise shit simply because they don't know what they're doing. So I don't want to get my dogs tore up. So anyhow, I'm going to figure this out quick and I'll be back. Okay. So what I did is I just made a little spot here. This is where it jumps the fence and cuts through the yard. So I took a rake and pulled off some of those leaves and kind of built a spot to where I can get a good clean track. And then if I need to, I can come off of that tree. The hard part of this is keeping the dogs off of it. So anyway, I'm going to go do the same thing out here by those gates. And try to establish a pattern. Without the snow, it's pretty much a pain in the ass. What I think, if it's a lion, what I think it's doing is that draw that I hiked back into last spring. I think I did a video of it when I was looking for shed horns. There's a lot of deer in that draw. And so if it can split those deer off, run them down into here, then it can possibly get a kill. But I've got to find out the pattern, then I can figure out where it's moving through. Once I figure out where it's moving through, then I can set up game cameras, establish a pattern and a time, and either try to run it out of the valley, because up above where that red knob right there, right below that is a pretty big cattle ranch. Up on top, on that side, there's a pretty big cattle ranch. All of this is pretty much, well, other than this private, then it goes into BLM. And so, but right down below, more cattle ranches. And with calving season being, February, March, April, it would be a good idea to get this sumbitch ran out of here. And so that is the plan, but I'll show you this once it's all done. What I'm going to do is right there where that trail is that everything wants to move on, I am going to rake all that off and then try to keep the dogs off of it, because they don't understand this shit. All they know is there's smells that they're not sure about. And I really hope that if it's a bobcat, it's a big son of a bitch. If it's a lion, I know those tracks that came down the road behind the barn, right through the house, and then followed this creek, went back up that draw where the trees are. That was a lion. Those tracks are way too damn big. These tracks are a little bit smaller, so either it's a bobcat or it is a young lion. And if it's a big bobcat, older bobcat, a bobcat shouldn't be, this close to the house. And a bobcat ain't gonna jump the fence and go through the yard. So that's telling me young lion, simply because of its behaviors. So anyway, I'm going to get this done, then I'll show it to you, and then I think me and the dogs are going to get the hell out of here and go home and start praying for some snow. So I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so hopefully that will be enough. This is what it looks like before. That's what it looks like after. I kind of did a decent swath through here. Then what I'll do is come across in front of this gate, and then I put that long ass irrigation pipe on that rake last year when it was flooding out. And I remembered that, so, wouldn't want to rake the yard with that sumbitch. That pole's 15 feet long. So anyhow, I'm going to get this done, and then I'll just have to start coming out, monitoring it, and see what it does. Jippy, back. Get back here. Alright, these dogs are wanting to track this up, so we're going to get this done, get them loaded, and see what happens. Later.